Hello, everybody. Happy No, it's Monday. It's Monday. How are we doing? You live in the future. I do. I live constantly a week ahead. I was just turning off the noise cancelling part of these headphones. Because otherwise it means I end up shouting the entire time. And I don't want to do that. I don't want to shout at you guys. That wouldn't be very kind, would it? How are we doing? Lenoob Power. Hey, got a free membership for 1 month. Gotta use it. Yeah, you've got to use it. Absolutely, you've got to use it. Good evening, young man. How you doing? Evening, folks. I'm very well, thank you. I am having a great day. I'm having another busy day. I'm having another busy week. This week's going to be a little bit crazy. They all are at this point. But after this week and next week, things slow down considerably, which is nice. Did you manage to reach the Titan goal, or is that still a target in the background? We have not reached the Titan goal, no. We are about £100 more than that. So we're at like... Actually, I do have the sum. It's at like that. Something like that is the Warlord Fund. Can you do a video on how to paint the Chaos War Shrine? Maybe at some point in the future. It won't be for a long time though. Because I don't have one. And there's other stuff to do. Would you be interested in making in the future pestilence-themed variation of the other Skaven models like Rat Ogres, Vizek, etc.? Also, how would you do other than the colours? Well, see, I would only ever do it with paint jobs. And it would just be with various bits of green. I did the Clan's Pestilence the other day in not the other day. I did Clan Pestilence in the what's it called? Clan Rats video. So it's mostly you would just do that. They're trying to make it the Titans into plastic is what I hear. I mean, that would be interesting if they did. The Warp Spark weapon battery still missing makes me sad. It's coming, Fist and Dantalus 2000. This week and next week, super busy. Week after, not quite as busy. So I'm hoping to do the Doom Flares, the Warp Spark, and the Warp Grinder then. Is my plan. Do you have a plan to do Rotmire Creed? I'd like to do the Rotmire Creed. I need to get some though. I don't have any. Would you add buboes and pussets? That's not really the sort of thing I would normally do. That would involve green stuffing stuff on, and I don't believe in my abilities to be able to do that. You could do that, of course you could, but it wouldn't be something that I wouldn't sculpt on. I wouldn't sculpt onto a miniature. It's way too much effort for me. Congrats on 70k. Thank you very much, Baradon283. That's very kind of you. Yep, we've got 70,000. We're approaching 70.5, which is cool. Are you excited about the Christmas box sets? Which one would you pick up, if any? I think if I was to pick one up, it would be the Knights one, the Imperial Knights one. But that's only because I want to sell my old Imperial Knights army and start again. Otherwise, I think they're generally okay. But I generally, these days, buying a Christmas box isn't a good idea for me because over £100 worth of plastic that will never get painted. How about the new Warhammer Day Chaos miniature? Yeah, I ordered that. It will be here presumably when yours gets there. That's the sorcerer, right? Zarketh or whatever his name is. I ordered it on Saturday. Did GW give you the new Underworld Skaven box? If not, are you going to paint them? Like the others said, congrats on 70k. I subbed when you were at 58k and was surprised you didn't get more subs. Thank you very much, Linear Power. I haven't been sent it. No. Doesn't mean that I won't get sent it, but I haven't been sent it, so it's not out soon. But I would like to do that. Pridders, thank you very much for the £50. Warlord Fund, probably can't stick around for long because I should be working. Love your stuff, but still struggle with contrast paints. I do like using contrast with lenses over a solid white, though. Have a good stream. Thank you very much, Pridders. I appreciate that very much. It's very, very kind of you. We'll get you there with contrast. If you're going to be around at Liam's thing, I'm hoping to be there at Liam's thing, and I can show you. I can show you in person. Pridders, thank you very much again for the 5 gifted Warhipster memberships. Legendary. Absolutely legendary. Incredible scenes. Thank you so much. I also saw just then that Ricky Drinks Paints has been a member for 17 months. Thank you very much, Ricky Drinks Paints. That's very kind of you. You guys, your support is unbelievable. Unfortunately, I won't be. Didn't join the hashtag not a cult at the time. Very jealous of all that are going. Well, there will be other instances. We'll get there. I was thinking about doing another how to use contrast paints properly video. A part 2, if you will. Because the last one did really well. So, you know, you've got to chase that algorithm. So I'm thinking about doing it maybe around Christmas time. But we'll see. We'll see what time. We'll see if time is permitting. Are you planning to do a series for Kill Team like you did Spearhead? I was looking at it earlier. We've actually done a lot of the Kill Teams. So if I go over to gamesworkshop.com, is the Kill Team site up yet? Kill Team shop view all. Yeah, so of the kill teams that are available on the internet, we've done Mandrakes, Nemesis Claw, Commandos. Apparently that's it from them. That doesn't seem correct. I've got a bunch. So I've done the what they call the Veteran Guardsman. It was the Veteran Guardsman, which was the Krieg, the Orc Commandos. We've done Nemesis Claw, the Night Lords, the Mandrakes. We've done the Aquilons, the Vespid. We have done... What else have we done? We've done more. There is more. What I have in my possession is Scouts, and I have Striking Scorpions as well. I'm pretty certain I have the Void Scarred somewhere. Do you have any Votan army painting videos? And if not, are you planning on doing so? Yeah, I did the entire Votan range except for the Pioneers on bikes. There is a playlist here on YouTube, which is how to paint Votan. I also did a what are they called? The troops in every one of the recognized sub-factions as well. Yeah, everything's done. I built the Scouts kill team over the weekend. That was not a fun kit. Awful mold lines. Yep, mold lines everywhere, and the components are all over the place. I hated it. I did it last week. I built one Scout and I threw the rest of it back in the box. We do have a painting tutorial on how to paint striking scorpions, which is why I didn't do it when the new plastic ones came out. I was like, nothing's changed. Exactly the same models, they're just taller and in plastic. So I'm not going to do it again. Good evening, Laura. How you doing? Anyway, today we're going to be building this guy. Vandus Hammerhand. He no longer gets a fancy box. He gets the web store only box. There he is. There's the man, the guy. Single sprue. So this was the last core box that Games Workshop did where things weren't all push fit. We run out of boxes box, exactly. But this is Vandus Hammerhand. The Lord Celestant on Dracoth was for a long time my favourite miniature to play with and to look at. I really liked him, especially in first edition. He was absolutely top draw. Mine is a little bit warped. There we go. I snapped the hammer on mine when building, just a heads up. Yeah, no, that's very easy to do. I snapped mine way after the building. Right, here we go. Let's get started, shall we? So when this model came out, it was in the Mighty Battles in an Age of an Ending War box, which was the first core box for Age of Sigmar, and he wasn't Vandus Hammerhand at the time. He was, but he wasn't. He was just a Lord Celestant on Dracoth in that box. He later became Vandus Hammerhand when they released him separately alongside Korgos Kul. Okay, cool. Thanks for that instructions. Let's just get it out of the way. Is that a Vandus I see? Going to be kit bashing him into a Chaos Lord? Absolutely not. It is Vandus Hammerhand. The first to the fray. The man, the myth, the legend. Has gone somewhat bonkers now due to his obsession with Korgos Kul. This is one of the cool things about the developing story of Age of Sigmar, of which there is one. So we're probably building him at the wrong time, because I think he's going to get a new model in the lead into AOS 5. So in 2 years' time, I think we'll be looking at a new Vandus Hammerhand alongside a new Korgos Kul, would be my guess. But oh well, at least we'll have it, right? And I had one of these as part of my Anvils of the Heldenhammer army, so I painted in black. But I sold that army last year, so now we're going to build him again. Just joined the stream, thought you were doing my intro. Doing your intro. I see what you mean. I imagine we'll get a Ruination version at the end of this edition. Yeah, I completely agree with you, Daniel. I think it's going to happen. But yeah, I mean, there was a time when this model, the Lord Celestant on Dracoth, used to absolutely bang. It was when Stormcast got their second battle tome, the one with the Vanguard in. and mount traits were introduced. You could give the Lord Celestant on Dracoth a mount trait, of course. And the Dracoth one was absolutely mental. Or one of the Dracoth ones was very good. He also, Lord Celestant on Dracoth, used to provide a 24-inch bubble of no battle shock. Just wouldn't have to take battle shock within 24 inches of the LCOD, which is just really good. And then when Vandus got his own War Scroll, he had that ability, and he also added like +1 attack to friendly Hammers of Sigmar within 12 inches of him. It was crazy. So how is this guy so good? Do you think Skaven will have any more new models in the next 3 years, like Sense of Errors? You're probably not looking at any more wide Skaven releases in the next 3 years. That being said, they might get another character in the lead into 5th, so in 2 years' time. I doubt it though, because I mean you've just had 11, 12, 13, 14, like 15 new kits. So it's unlikely for now, but you never say never. Stranger things have happened, you know. It's Games Workshop after all. Anything can happen. I'm surprised they got as much as they did. Like not in like a they didn't deserve it. I'm just surprised it was like, because that the multi-part release was 11 kits, which is crazy. Yeah, okay, that's how that goes together. I'm expecting an Eshin Warcry warband. I mean, yeah, that's also possible. You know, I mean, like I said, you never know. It's almost impossible to predict what Age of Sigmar's gonna do. You know, it could be anything at any point, and it might even just surprise you and just be like, "Oh yeah, look, we've just redone like they did last year, where they went, oh yeah, by the way, we've got all these Iron Jaws releases." And it was like, okay. What's this in relation to? Nah, we just felt like it. It's like, oh. Do you see what I mean? So it's like, you just never know. You never know. This piece is being really weird. Did I bend it? Because it clearly goes like that. Yeah, I think I bent it. That will do. Do. How's the Warlord Fund coming along? The Warlord Fund, it was up on the screen. The Warlord Fund is there. I was looking at your channel but didn't find a guide for Terminator Squad Ultramarines and also for a captain. So the Ultramarines guides we have on the channel, we have Uriel Ventress, we will have Chief Librarian Togurius, and we have the Company Heroes. And in the Company Heroes thing, that does include a captain, so you can use that one for an Ultramarines captain. So close. Yes, Demogorgon. It's very close to Warlord time. We are in a slight pickle in that half the parts for the Warlord Titan are currently sold out on Games Workshop, temporarily out of stock. Currently working on stuff for Tails, really looking forward to it. Oh yeah. I haven't landed on what my project's going to be, and I'm going to really try my hardest this year to actually just stick to a project. I think I'm going to. I might do the White Scars that I've been talking about doing. I might just say, look, we're doing White Scars, and just go. Like I said, I wanting to go really slowly with it. So Tails is a great opportunity for doing something like White Scars. Which way around do you go? That way. Yes. Vandus. Haha. A handy guide peg. Tottenham Court Road or a full pilgrimage to Warhammer World? Do you know, I haven't been to Tottenham Court Road in a very long time. I wonder if there is even any staff there that I would remember. It's been a long old time since I've been there. But for a long time, Tottenham Court Road was my sort of local Games Workshop. So when I lived in London, I lived in Streatham. So the easiest one to get to was Tottenham Court Road. So I had just broken up with my ex, and I went back to Warhammer as a thing to keep me occupied, and I found the Tottenham Court Road store, and I was like, yeah, okay, I'll go here. So I used to go in there for beginners games and stuff like that as I was relearning how to play the games. It had been a while. Is Kalanax Vandus' mount still alive? I don't know. I don't think it was stated either way if he did survive. Or Smaug time. I know. The people want a Warlord Titan. They want me to suffer. You go there. Allegedly. Yes. Because you can really tell the difference building a model like this between a new one. So these are the kind of, like I said, this was a starter model. This came in the Mighty Battles in an Age of an Ending War box. And as I'm putting it together, it's like, yep, this is definitely a vibe. Do you think there will be a demon Korgos Cool? Yeah, I think it's entirely possible. It could happen. It's possible that it'll happen with the Blades of Khorne book. My guess is, though, it's more likely to happen in the narrative campaign that leads us into 5th edition as a way to close out this edition. Okay. This is not one to build for fat-thumbed people like me. There we go. Hey, Chris. I'm painting Theoden and can't wait for the Rohirrim box. God damn, these new Rohan warriors are so beautiful. Imagine new riders. Oh, I know. I know. Okay. Rohan or Gondor, favourite of yours? Rohan is my favourite. Just as Rohan is Tolkien's favourite as well. 75 watching, 20 odd likes. What's happening, folks? That is a good point. It's because, Stoogie, I haven't done my YouTubey duties. I haven't done them. So as a YouTuber, the things I have to tell you to do in every single video and every single live stream, and I should tell you every 5 minutes, but I generally only do it once, possibly twice, is to please, if you could, everybody out there who is watching the stream right now, if you could leave a like on the stream, that would be very, very kind of you, because it's a free way to support the channel, and it means more people discover the channel and subscribe, which makes Josh a very happy boy. If you're not already, talking of subscribing, please hit the subscribe button below, and please, please enjoy the stream. Our first target, as always, is to get to 50 likes on the stream. And then the other YouTuber duty is to say, if you would like to support the channel a little bit further, you can, of course, consider becoming a member. You can consider sending a super chat if you really have a question that needs to be read out or answered or something like that, or indeed a statement, an insult, a compliment, whatever you want to do. You can send a super chat, or if you're already a member, you can gift some memberships to the channel, as it's a paid way to support the channel, but without it, we don't keep the lights on. So, all of that good stuff. Also, if you give him gifts, he might cry too. That is true. That is typically what happens, because I get overwhelmed by kindness. Steve says, I had bad mental health, so bought the Skaven type box as a way to keep myself going through the summer holidays. I'm a TA in a primary school. Oh, nice. You're doing the Lord's work there. Your tutorials helped me paint all the models in the box and kept me sane. Thank you so much. Oh, you're very welcome, Steve. Thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed them. And I'm glad they were useful. Good afternoon, all. How about those pre-orders, huh? What was on pre-order this week? I can't remember. Oh, it's Blood Angels. It is Blood Angels that went on pre-order this week. I couldn't remember if it was Blood Angels or Kill Team that went on pre-order this week. The weeks have started to merge into one. That is the price you pay when you create painting tutorials for a living. Okay. This tail goes in here. Quite simply as well, apparently. But we shall be the judge of that, won't we? Ah. There we go. So now the rest of his body goes on. Good old Vandus. I do worry that this means I'm going to have to get some Dracothian Guard to accompany old Vandus. And I'd rather not, because presumably we might see some new Dracothian Guard in the future. In 5th edition. Yeah, no. Boop, boop. Good morning, Warhipster. I recently rewatched your Blood Angel showcase. If you don't mind, can you explain how you have constructed your companies and chapter? Yeah, we can do that. So, the easiest way to describe it, right, is a Space Marine chapter is roughly 1,000 Space Marines divided into 10 companies, and each of those 10 companies is made up of about 100 Space Marines. That's the kind of sort of Codex compliant version of things, right? So each of those companies are then kind of divided further up in terms of specialism. So your first company is your Veterans company, second, third, fourth, and I think fifth are your battle companies, and 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th. Well, 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th are your reserve companies. And then finally, you have your 10th company, which is your scout company, right? So, what it used to be, a Codex compliant battle company used to consist of 6 tactical squads, 2 Devastator squads, and 2 assault squads. Now, Devastator used to be the term Space Marines would apply to heavy support, and assault was assault squads, right? So it didn't mean you had to have 10 Devastators. You didn't have to have 20 Devastators. You could have other things in there, but that's how roughly a company is divided up. However, when the Primaris arrived, there was a rewrite of the Codex Astartes, which allowed companies to second other units from other companies into their ranks, and also, in order to make them further more tactical than they already were, they were allowed to be divvied up into 20 different squads. So rather than 10 squads, there were 20 squads. So it means now that there is officially a possibility of having 20 different units making up a Space Marine company. Okay, and that's to accommodate for all of the 3-man units, basically. Is how that works. So basically, what I did is I built my Blood Angels company to be a mixture. So there is 30 intercessors in my fully finished company. There are 30 intercessors, 20 tactical marines, 5 assault heavy intercessors. I need to buy 5 more heavy intercessors to finish off the battle line element of that. And then in the assault, the close support option, which is the old assault squads, there's 2 units of 10 assault intercessors. And then in the heavy support option, we have 12 aggressors, 3 eradicators, which makes 15, and then 5 desolation marines, which makes up the 20. And that's my 100 space marines to make up the first single company. That doesn't mean that you couldn't second in things like eliminators and stuff, but generally a company should be about 100 space marines. Hello, Sir Strummingfish. A demi company is something if you half a company, so it's 3 battle line, 1 assault, and 1 devastated unit, right? So it's 50 space marines. But a company is led by 2 lieutenants and a captain. There is a banner of each company. There is a champion of each company. Librarians, chaplains, apothecaries, sanguinary priests, they are separate, so they are attached to the company. There aren't company apothecaries. There's just the apothecarian, which will attach apothecaries to a company. And then generally each company will maintain its own dreadnoughts. And I think the Blood Angels 3rd or 4th company has 3. So that's how I divvied up my dreadnoughts. But as I said, each company is roughly 100 Space Marines, so there might be things like a retinue of veterans that accompany a captain, and they don't count towards the company's strength, and neither do these days the Marines that look after the motor pool, although they used to. So if you had like land speeders, the crew of those land speeders would be part of the close support guys, or the assault squad guys. Would be generally how it would work. I'm liking the look of the new Slaves to Darkness Dark Oath Spearhead, but I think the paint job on those might be a bit beyond me, despite all I've learned through painting the Skaven type box. Well, good news, Steve. I've got videos for all of the Dark Oath here on YouTube. So you can check those out and see if they see if it looks too complicated for you. But we have done them. We've done the Marauders and the Fell Riders. We haven't done the War Queen. I think I've got her somewhere though. I think we could conceivably do a video on that when that book comes out. We'll have to find out when it comes out though. That reminds me, I need to paint Bran's Oathbound. I kept saying it during the live stream, and then I've immediately forgotten that that was something I needed to do. I'm going to make a note of it. I'll set a reminder, a daily reminder. I also need to do the Nexus Chaotica. I never did that piece either. I've got it. Games Workshop did send it to me. I just can't remember why I ran out of time to do it. It's probably Scaventide's fault. There we go. Kalanax is built. I think that's everything. Yeah. I blame Varangard trim. Oh, you might be right, Flying Matley. It might have been the Varangard that did it. Did you check out the car boot the what? Animation of SM2. Is that the vignette? The Deathwatch one? I haven't seen it yet, no. Is it good? Cannot wait for the video on Vandus. Well, we might be able to get it done pretty quickly, depending on how time works. I mean, if there was a time to do it, it would be next week, right? Okay, so he now just slides in, allegedly. I mean that allegedly, because it doesn't look like he's going to. was that arm. I mean, I'm not making any promises that I can get this done next week. I am, as I mentioned, already very, very, very busy. It relies on me concentrating, and that is something that I am not known for. Concentrating and being productive, which I can generally manage maybe 2 to 3 days of consecutively. So for example, on was it Friday? I think it was Friday. On Friday I was oh, come on. On Friday I had to do all 3 of the Sanguinary Guard. So the night before I'd done all the gold. So I'd put all the Retributor armor on, and then I was like, cool. That's the big bit out of the way, right? So then Friday it was like, no, come on now. So yeah, Friday it was just nothing but concentration. I didn't have any staring out the window time, so I felt all discombobulated and weird. Because I lost time last week. I can't remember why though. I lost quite a significant amount of time to something. Don't remember though. Oh, my brain. Better get... I've just read that message the same way everyone else is reading that message, Stoogie. Okay. So now this just goes there. Like so. Oh. Do that. Birthday. Is it your birthday today, Simon? Am I the only one slightly depressed that 300 plus watch a random hobby stream hosted by GW, but only 60 are here? No, Sir Strumming Fish. That also depresses me. I would really like it if all of those people came and subscribed over here instead. They'd get a lot more content, that's for sure. They'd also see who did those contrast recipes first. That's right. I'm looking at you, Warhammer TV. I know what you did. I'm joking. Oh, birthday. Oh, yeah, maybe it was. Actually, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, because I had a little bit of a day off on my birthday. Yes, I did. Absolutely spot on there, Simon. Yes, well done. It was. It was the Thursday where I didn't... all I did was edit Thursday's video. And then played Space Marine 2. And we went out for dinner with... I went out for dinner with Al. We went and had our beefy boys. Okay, what order am I supposed to glue this in? Hammer, then head, or head, then hammer? Let's do the head. And we'll do the shoulder last. My goodness me, he has a fancy helmet. I mean, look, I mean, when you're saying you feel sorry for them missing out, I do feel sorry for them missing out on finding all this wonderful content. But at the same time, I wouldn't want to have Games Workshop's chat. Not because it's busy and frantic, because it's full of horrible people. So I would like all the people who don't go into the Games Workshop chat and are horrible. So they're all welcome, but they're not. You know, we like the we like things chill around here, right? God, Vandus really does have the fanciest of hats, doesn't he? I mean, I want to thank as well everybody who tuned in on Saturday for the stream. We had a max concurrence at one point of 875 people, which is the most we've ever had on a stream before, and that was crazy. And I spent the rest of the day not really knowing how to deal with that. Right, in you go, Vandus head. Oh yeah. So then the other part of the shoulder must glue into that one. So I think we're okay. I think we're all good. I think we're grooving. It's yeah. Right, we'll put the hammer in next. This is good. This makes sense to me. And then this bit goes in next. Wah. Come on. I think maybe I should have glued the head in last. But it's all good. We rescued it. It's fine. Hey, look at that. Vandus Hammerhand all built. Let's get him on his base. I feel like that's not doing anything. There we go. That feels like that's sticking. I particularly like the Warcom site going down on Saturday. Oh, that really annoyed me. I was live. I was sat here. For those of you who were there. I was just like, I want to look at the pictures and try and remember everything. It's like, nope. Not allowed. Barred. You're banned. I was like, oh. Fun. Oh, a big thank you to whoever who's subscribed during the course of this stream. 70,450. We're flying at the moment, guys. Our goal, as we've mentioned, so you have to get out there and campaign on behalf of the channel. Our goal for the year is by midnight, 31st of December, to be on 75,000 subscribers. Because I think if we manage that, then next year, together, we might get the silver YouTube plaque at 100k. It's currently 39,550 to go, which is just no 29,550 to go, which is a bonkers amount of people. We're very, very close to being able to fill Old Trafford, though. I believe too. I didn't believe for a long time, and now I do. Wonder what will happen when you hit 75k subs, if a certain someone will get up to his usual shenanigans. Yeah, so Rez, one of the reasons I don't ever share when I get to a milestone, unless I'm like on 50 over, is because of you. Because I know if I go on Instagram and I go, oh my god, 75,000 exactly, and 74,499. Oh, there we go. Because you're an absolute menace. Venue for Warhipster Con sorted then. Oh, can you imagine? We've booked out Old Trafford. So I need every single person subscribed to me to buy a ticket, because otherwise I will be in financial ruin. That would be a turn up. Will you paint the new Chaos Dwarf Blood Bowl team? I wasn't sent them, unfortunately. I'm going to use 2 Warhipster memberships in the next poker round as a bet. Oh, I'm into it. I'm into it. I can't do that because that would go against YouTube's term of service, but you guys can. I watched your Kill Team terrain video today and went straight out and bought a dry brush. Brilliant video, thanks. Oh, thank you, Highland Duncan. I'm quite excited for that Kill Team expansion set that they previewed on Saturday. And the reason being is for the terrain that's in that box. Because they called it in the preview article. In fact, we can go and look at it now because it actually exists. I know, it's absolutely insane, right? But we can go and we can look at it, right? And it's called the like it's the expansion set to that terrain set. So I want to get it because I want to be able to expand out the Storm Volcus. Yeah, there we go. So yeah, here we are. So if I go studio mode and we go over here. I'm going to go window capture, that one, Bosch, turn it on. Do that, there we go. So now, if I jump over to there, you should be able to see it. So yeah, so this stuff here, it's the Volcus expansion set, right? So it gives you these extra walls to expand out the stronghold buildings that come in Hivestorm. I don't know how many of it will come. If it's just these 4, then it'll be like, I wish this was double the amount, but there we go. I really like this set, and I'd like to see a full Volcus box at some point. That would be nice. Nice to see. But I suspect it will just be a single sprue of walls. Oh, it says it there. I just saw your thing about the Ogrins. Someone saw something in the preview article that Ogrins were possible to bring with the Rattling team, and it says it there. Each enemy operative's activation before the next operative is activated, you can perform a free dash action with one friendly Rattling operative, excluding Bulgrin, Ogrin, and Sneak. But it cannot finish that move within 3 inches of an enemy operative. That's interesting. But yeah, I like this. I like this expansion set for the terrain. Did you get the exclusive Space Marine Mini and Combat Patrol magazine this week? I did not. I don't subscribe to those magazines because, again, it's the issue of stacking up endless plastic that I will never get around to doing. I did subscribe to it the first time, and then I stopped my subscription when I moved after like 15 or something. Did GW send you to Iridan the Witness? I wouldn't know the answer to that. No, they didn't. They did not. See you later, Alec man. Would you do a signed photo, Josh, for a bet? I have a pair of jacks at the moment. I unfortunately cannot take part. I cannot take part in your game. Again, YouTube terms of service. Not allowed to. Not allowed to. So Bullgrin's coming to Kill Team. They might well be. Forbidden Planet do them without a subscription. Choose what you like. Yeah. It's been a long time since I've walked into a Forbidden Planet. It's the kind of thing where if I find a good one, I might buy it, but I don't sit and I don't keep up to date with it. So like I know that there was a Stormdrake Guard one for the Stormbringer magazine, which would have been really good, but I don't need any more dragons, to be honest. I was looking at it today, and I think I've got 2 more boxes of Stormdrake Guard. So I've got this one here, which I need to finish, and I need to film his counterpart for all of you guys. It was this one. We did this on stream a little while ago. That guy. So I need to film his counterpart, and I think I've got 2 more boxes after this. But that would put me on, what? Knight Draconis, Stormdrake Guard, and then 2, 4, 6, 8. Yeah, I would have 10 dragons. Currently reducing hobby debt by building the Agastus box. Ah, good man, good man. I have not been reducing my hobby debt. Well, actually, no. I bought that model last week, and now I've built it. There is a lot of models here. I need to prime all of that. What's it called? Lord of the Rings stuff that we did last week. But I haven't had the time. I don't know what to do for the next 45 minutes. What should we do? What should we do, team? I wish I could say I was reducing my hobby debt, but Kill Team happened. Dance for 45 minutes. Yeah. That's about as much as I can do with dancing. Mine's all neck and hips when I dance. Look at Golden Demon winners. Oh yeah, we could do that, couldn't we? Let's bring this over here. Okay. So we've got the Golden Demon winners here. So that's the single miniature gold by Lucas Zaba, and it looks amazing. We have silver and bronze there. Very nice. Very nice. This Azek is over here is amazing. Big fan of that. The Terminator. 40k unit or kill team. We have... Oh, very nice. Very, very nice. Andy Wardle. There he is. In silver. These are very nice as well. Large miniature or vehicle. Oh, that's cool. Oh, a Blood Angel. That sums up my feelings. A Night Lord's Venom Crawler. Poor guy. What happened to you? Oh, wow. I can't believe that one. That land speeder. You're not allowed those anymore, are you? Or can Ravenwing still have them? The Lord of the Rings Golden Demon is insane. This is very nice as well. Warhammer Age of Sigmar. Ooh. That's very pretty. Look at the orc skin. Incredible work. Smoke down here is very impressive as well. Bastian Carthalos, there he is. And I didn't think anyone bought this miniature. Wow, these are not the things I would expect. Seraphon I would expect, yeah, they're looking great. It's that is quite the that's very nice. That's very cool as well. And there's Trug. I think this is the Slayer Sword winner, wasn't it? Maria Peterson's. That's very pretty. So's that. The work on display, man, at Golden Demon, it's unbelievable. It shows you how far off a pin I really am. Which is very sad. Oh, I was actually thinking about this warband the other day. It's one I haven't done. I need to get round to it. Oh, there he is. Horrors Ascended. That's a very pretty miniature. Eidolon, the Khan, Dwarven King. Wow. Wow. Okay. That is extremely impressive, particularly the Palantir. And the eye work there on Saruman is incredible. Glorfindel, AMR, Blood Bowl. Who won the Slayer Sword? This is great. The Hendarian's Necromunda piece. That's fantastic. Very nice, James Taro. Diorama and Duel. Very cool. Oh wow. Oh wow. Youngbloods. Henry Nearman. Nearman. Bloody hell. The kids are better than us. The kids are better than us. The open competition. Ah, yeah, there he is. Trug. He won the Gut Slayer Sword. Yeah, it's just very beautifully well done. It's very, very beautiful. Very, very beautiful. Yeah. Unbelievable work. Unbelievable work there. Well done, everyone. Well done, Golden Demon. Not that any of them will watch this channel. There's nothing I can teach them. Yeah. There we go. Open comp picks seem a bit weird, so I'm assuming the models were way better in person. I think the open competition is generally the one that staff can enter, as well as if you just make up something. Like I think there was a bust in there, wasn't there, one year? Man. I wish I had the time. You know, I just don't. I don't have the time to sit and do a Golden Demon to give it the attention that it deserves. It's my issue. You know, it takes hundreds of hours to sit and paint it. I think you could do it with the time. Maybe. I was very disheartened after my last attempt. I went in with the intention of getting a pin and didn't come away with one. And I used ones that I'd already painted. I'd used the ones that I thought were my best work. And they didn't agree. So after that I was like, nah, not for me. The imposter syndrome was enormous after that, because I was convinced that, like, there's no point anybody ever subscribing or watching one of my videos ever again, because I couldn't even come away with a pin. See what I mean? It was a dumb thing to say. It was a dumb thing to think as well, because I came back and I just went, nah, I'm not gonna. Titan entry for Golden Demon. No. What are some of your processes when you get a new model in? Does the paint scheme auto-populate at this point for you? Not always. What I generally tend to do is spend quite a long time staring at the picture. And my first port of call now is to kind of look at my back catalogue and see if there's any colours in there that are similar. And then there's a thing of, like, if I find it in a particularly old video, is there a way I can translate that scheme to be quicker and easier? Because, you know, especially from stuff from pre-Contrast 2, it can be a little bit like, you know, if there's like black armor, for example, I can be like, well, I know I'm going to do a Black Legion for that. But so, as an example, what we can do is, I can do it live now. So if we find a model, let's go with this guy. So this new Chaos Sorcerer, right? Let's get it nice and close. So looking at that, the first thing to sort of that when I'm looking at something like this is I'll basically just kind of stare at it for a while and see if I can figure out what it is that they've done in terms of the colours that they've used. So in the instance of this black armor, for example, it's like the helmet there and all this armor here. When I look at the edges, you can see it's got a blue tint to it. So in this instance, it's probably, if I'm going to paint it, we're going to go with Black Legion for the base. We're then going to shade it, possibly with Drakenhof Nightshade, but usually Null Oil is easiest, right? Because we've got silver present as well here, and that silver has got blackened areas to it. So, like you can see on the shadow side of the blade there, that's black, it's not blue. So, rather than use Drakenhof Nightshade, in order to simplify the amount of paints that have to be bought to paint this, we'll go with Nuln Oil, because that'll make it nice and smooth and lock in all of that richness of the Black Legion. But the highlights, because they're bluish in nature, that means we're going to go for the grey. So, it might be that we go for really stark grey, like rust grey followed by Fenrisian grey, or it might be that if we go for a little bit darker, depending on the makeup of the rest of the model, it would be a case of, well, let's go Dark Reaper and then use rust grey. Because there's a lot of light points on the model, so you can see like this one here shining at the top of the forehead, and you can see here on that kind of hip plate just there, and there's like 3 little dots that kind of come up the middle next to those rusted rivets there. We'll probably go for quite a stark highlight on that black, so it'll be something like rust grey, then followed by Fenrisian grey as a spot highlight, and then that's all the black armor done. Then the question is, what do we do about the cape? Now you see here the internals of the cape are black, so again Black Legion can go on there, but we don't necessarily want to shade that with Nuln Oil because we don't want it to be shiny like the armor, so we might just leave it like that. But you can see there that that's still a bit bluish, so that's where we might go for something like Dark Reaper. Or we might just go over to grey, so use Dawnstone to create a differentiation between the 2 black details that we have on the model. They're not next to each other, which is useful, but it is what it is, right? And then it's like, well, what colour is the other side of the cape? Because we can't see it, but we can see it just here. On the little picture on the bottom right, there's a little bit of a reddish tint to it. So that to me says we can either go somewhere like Sigvald Burgundy and then darken it down, or we can go for Cygor Brown, which has got a bit of a red to it anyway, and then we can highlight that with some flesh colours. So like it would be Blood Reaver Flesh, maybe. Something like that could work. But because that's the only picture source I have for the back of the cloak, that's a difficult one to call at this point. Now, as for the fur trim around his neck, well, that's got a bone colour in it, so we're probably going to go with Skeleton Horde as our base. And then we've got a little bit of brown towards the top here. So I'd probably go for Wildwood and apply them both at the same time in order to let them sort of blend together on the model as they go, and it kind of just merges naturally rather than me having to kind of do extra work in order to get it to work. The red over here, you could do that something with like Blood Angel's Red and then shade it with a flesh paint to get that brown in there. And the gold, it's got, if you look at the shading towards the bottom here, it's got that kind of warm shading that Stormcast Eternals gold generally tends to have. So it's not like a gross gold, as what I would sometimes call it, which would be shaded with brown. It's shaded with that sort of pinky red. So that's an instance where the gold can be shaded with like Reiklichen Flesh Shade or Gilliman Flesh or whatever, and then relayered with Retributor armor. Now the question here is what the hell to do about this tabard, because that is like a very pale brownish grey. So I think here the call would be to go for something like I think maybe to take something like Basilicanum Grey, but to thin it down, and probably like 2 or 3 parts, so it's really, really quite thin to get the greyish tone. You can see here in the deep recess there. But then to use either Nuln Oil or Agrax Earthshade over the top of it once it's fully dry to add in that brown would be what I would do, maybe for that. And then highlight it probably with Karak Stone and maybe even a bit of Grey Seer in there. Something like that. Which would all lead us back to what colour do you prime it? Well, it's a very cold model. So we would probably go with Grey Seer in this instance, because Wraithbone would make it too warm and shiny and beautiful and nice. So Grey Seer would probably be the default to prime it with. 7 months. Thanks for the streams and videos. Thank you, Junkle Camper, for the 7 months of membership. That is incredibly generous of you. Thank you so much. But does that kind of make sense? Is what I'm saying helping? Because the surprise here on this model is the skirt. The skirt is the colour that I would need to have in hand and practice a little bit. Because it's like that's a colour I haven't really had to do. There's a, you know, whereas when you go for something like, if we just come back out and we'll go, let's find something else. Let's just go in here. So, in this instance, I've painted a lot of Stormcast, right? So I would just dip into my back catalogue of things to figure out exactly how I would paint those, which is very easy. I would paint the gold the way I always do the gold, the blue the way I always do the blue for Stormcast, and then the black the way I always do the black. So it becomes this quite simple thing. Similarly for the Skaven, what I would do is I would look here at the robe and I would go, okay, that's the same colour we're going to use for the rest of the Warlocks. So that's that Sigval Burgundy, shaded with Carroburg Crimson and highlighted with, I want to say Pink Horror. Can't remember. The skin as well, same kind of deal. We look at the fingers here, and that to me is going to be probably... That to me would be the Reichland Flesh Shade recipe that we've used on some of the skin before. And you can see the brown in here, so we would use a little bit of wildwood on the fur, for example. I think that's it for the pictures. The new Votan kill team has new colour. What are they called? Are they called the Hernkin? Is that right? Is it this guys? The Hernkin Jaegers? These ones? Do any of GW's contrasts go well over Leadbelcher spray? Trying to think of a scheme for the Stormcast for Scaventide for when I need a break from Tau. Well, you're in luck, Pritters, because whilst I haven't done all of them, what I have got is I've got the entirety of Wave 1 in a shorts format. No, in fact, let's just do that and go playlists. So this playlist might help you a little bit because this is all of Wave 1. There we go. All of the Wave 1 metallics. And I need to go back and do Wave 2. But this one here. So that that playlist will show you what it looks like. It's called What It Looks Like Metallic. And I did all of Wave 1, Aethermatic Blue, Agaros Dunes, Achillean Green, Apothecary White, Basilicanum Grey, Black Templar, Blood Angels Red, Creed Camo, Cygor Brown, Dark Angels Green, Dark Oath Flesh, Flesh Terrors Red, Fire Slayer Flesh, Gore Grunter Fur, Griff Charger Grey, Griffhound Orange, Gilliman Flesh, Eandan Yellow, Leviathan Blue, Magos Purple, Militarum Green, Nazdrag Yellow, Orc Flesh, Plague Bearer Flesh, Shyish Purple, Skeleton Horde, Snakebite Leather, Talasar Blue, Pterodon Turquoise, Ultramarines Blue, Volupus Pink, Warp Lightning, Wildwood and Space Wolves Grey, over the top of Retributor Armour, Leadbelcher and Runelord Brass. And that'll give you an indication of what those colours can look like. Your question here. So what was the question? Has a new colour for straps and pouches. What colour would you say they are? Depending on what you're priming them in. If you're priming them in Wraithbone, Skeleton Horde would do it. And then highlighted with Screaming Skull. You wouldn't want any of the brown of Skeleton Horde in there? But it's like Ushabti Bone is the base by the looks of things. Or Morghast. No, Morghast's a bit too dark. Yeah, it's close to Ushabti Bone. So yeah, something like Skeleton Horde would work, or you could even get away with over the top of if you're over the top of Wraithbone, you could do Seraphim Sepia, which would really work, and then you highlight it with Wraithbone or Skeleton Horde. Seven wonderful months. Thank you. Oh, and Rez, we've been married for 35 months. We have. That means next month is our 3-year anniversary. Are you going to treat me? My friends have given me a 30-second limit on responding to their questions on what colours to use. I guess sometimes people want a contrast minus answer. Yeah. I mean, colour can look very different depending on your eyes specifically. Like sometimes you can think something can look wonderful or be the right colour, and sometimes it can't be. One of my weak points, for example, is being able to determine which green is which. So sometimes it takes me a lot longer to figure out green than it does any other colour. And it's just balancing the right amount of greens together. I like it when it's really obvious for green. Like when it's like a mid-green or whatever, it's like, oh, which one is it? So something like the what are they called? The ratlings that were in that that are in that new Volcus box. It's quite an interesting green that they've got going on there. It's probably Creed camo. Probably. But then it also looks like Orc flesh. So it could be a case of Gut Ripper flesh shaded with Baletan green. You see what I mean? It's like... Which would be ironic because they're facing off against Orcs. Thank you very much for the 1 gifted membership, Tattoo Zoologist. That's very kind of you. You lost. Jacks don't beat queens. I'm sorry you lost. But thank you for the membership. How will you paint 40 more clan rats? Badly. With imprecision. Is what I would do. Yeah, I mean, a lot of what I do is I look at what color for kind of the more generic colors that are a little bit easier to figure out. Is I look at what Games Workshop has highlighted it with, because if you can figure that out, then you can kind of work backwards in their triad system. So that if you can see orange highlights on red armor, then that's Fire Dragon Bright. And if it's Fire Dragon Bright, it means that they've gone through Mephiston Red, Evil Sun Scarlet up to Fire Dragon Bright. If that's the case, it means that the colour to use is Blood Angels Red. Is quite a lot of what the order of operations goes like. in terms of figuring it out. At least that's the best way I can describe it. If that makes sense. Like, for example, this... the Fixer's beret there. That's Sigval Burgundy. Highlighted with pink. Because you can see the pink. So I would use Sigval Burgundy to highlight that. Because it makes sense to me. You know? I do have the advantage though of I do have a YouTube channel where I have done a lot of stuff. So at this point it's like, you know, there is a lot more of a resource for me to go back on and look at and check out. What are you most looking forward to from the preview of the new Stormcast? Do you know, Stormstrike Cavalry, Paladors, they look fantastic. I really like the idea of them as well. According to the preview article, the pre-order article, they are Warrior Chamber, which is interesting. It's a Warrior Chamber Cavalry. And to be honest, most of my armies, they are Warrior Chamber now. You know, I would like to... It's not past Watershed, so I can't say what happens at the anniversary. Well done. Yeah, most of my, I have a, you know, I have the Draconis Skywing, which I could field. Wouldn't be very good, but I could field it, which would be my Extremis chamber. I don't obviously have a very large Reclusians chamber, Ruination chamber, because as far as I know, that only consists of Reclusians and Prosecutors and lots of characters, so I only have 3 Reclusians and 3 Prosecutors, so I don't really have a Ruination chamber to speak of. Vanguard chamber, I used to have a big Vanguard chamber army, but I sold it. That was part of my Ambles of the Heldenhammer lot. So the majority of the models I have are Warrior chamber. So it's cool to get a cavalry set that presumably interacts with Warrior chamber rules. They're also just really cool. I like them a lot. Are the new cavalry not Ruination? No, they said in the thing that they were Warrior Chambers. It says... Unleash the Ruination Chamber. It says... Stormstrike Paladors serve as the premier heavy cavalry of the Warrior Chamber and excel both at landing thunderous charges and striking into a protracted melee with beak and blade. This unit of 3 Paladors has all the parts needed to equip them as a champion, musician and standard bearer, as well as lances or blades to reinforce a larger unit. They are very cool, though. It would be nice to... One project I would love to do, even though it drives me up the wall, because I don't like painting cavalry, it would be to have at least one army that is all cavalry. And Stormcast would be the easiest one to do it with, because you've got the Dracothian Guard, the Stormdrake Guard, and you've got these now, and the Vanguard Paladors as well. You did, of course, used to have the Sacrosanct guys as well, the Evocators on Dracolines, but there is a lot of cavalry that you can use now in Stormcast. So it is entirely doable. It would be fun, and it would look amazing. So what I would love, for example, is if we go to gamesworkshop.com, Age of Sigmar, and we go to order Sotramcast Eternals. There we are. So it would be to have So I'd like to get some like fulminators and stuff. Let's go over here. So obviously these, so within the within the extremis chamber, you have the option of the tempestors, the desolators, concussors, and the fulminators. So what I would like to be able to do is, for example, I mean, if we look at the points, I'm not sure what the points are these days. Oh, I'm in the wrong place. Of course. So the come on. Okay, so concussors are 230, desolators are 210, fulminators are 230, and tempestors are 190. So one of each would run you to 190 plus 230. 190. Oh shit. 190 plus 230 plus 210 plus 230. And then you want to throw in Vandus Hammerhand as well, obviously. 210. That'd be 1,070 points, and you would be rocking 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 models. We obviously don't know what the points are of the Stormstrike Paladors, or indeed how they work. So you know, they've got Warrior Chamber in there. They're saying Warrior Chamber, which means they probably do something with the Warrior Chamber. Six-legged Sleipnir like would be nice. Or more, in terms of more cavalry. Nine models as Sigmar intended. Well, you just double it up, right? Well, no, you couldn't. Because actually you could. Let's build it. Let's build that army now. If you reinforced everything, you'd be able to go and do 2,000 points. Just call it Thunderhead Host, why not? Extremis, create army, add hero, and then go Vandus Hammerhand. Let's just go back here. Go Vandus Hammerhand. Yep. Make him the general, and then add unit, and then we would go in and we would put in concussors, desolators, fulminators, tempestors, and then we reinforce, 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 and reinforce. You have 70 points left over. But what you would have is 4, 8, 12, 16, 17 models. Do you ever write down what paints you used on a model, or do you have to go back and watch your own videos, or do you always remember? So all of the paints are written down in notes, but only as I go and edit. So as I'm editing the video, I'm writing down what I used. But most of the time I just try and remember. Yeah, I mean, like, I've got all of the videos as a reference for me. So, like, if I go, oh, how do I paint Blood Angels again? I can just go and watch a Blood Angels video. I can remember the models that I've painted more than I can what paints I used, if that makes sense. For the schemes I really enjoyed, I can remember them. generally. I mean, I enjoy painting red, so painting Blood Angels is easy. Oh well, 7 subscribers. Just updated the tracker. But so, like, in fact, what we can do, what I can show you, is if I go overhead and just remove that for the moment. So we go, yeah, and then I go over here, right? So, speaking of Blood Angels, when I was painting, for example, these guys, the red was easy because that's the Blood Angels red, right? So that's Baal red shaded with Blood Angels red, then highlighted with Evil Sun Scarlet and Fire Dragon Bright. The gold was easy because that's Retributor armor shaded with Gilliman, no, Fireslayer flesh, I think it was, shaded with one of those flesh colors, and then relayered with Retributed armor, and then highlighted with Liberator gold. And not Liberator gold, a 2-to-1 mix of Retributor armor and Stormhost silver. The blade there, I was like, how do I paint the blades? And then I was like, I'll just go and watch a Custodes video, because I've done these on Custodes, right? So it's just like I do the Custodes thing on the Sanguinary Guard spear blade. There we go. It's good. It's good to go. White, I'm really into just kind of using Nuln Oil and then shading it, highlighting it with Corax White, for example, so it's all good to go. However, so Sanguinary Guard, pretty easy to put together because we've done a lot of the components of it many times already. Sanguinor, however, slightly different, right? Because his sword is very, very, very different to their weapons, right? However, we have done this before. So the way this was done was Briar Queen Chill and then Pterodon Turquoise, and we've done that before on Nighthaunt. So the Nighthaunt, not blades, the Nighthaunt spookiness is done in that exact same way. So there's just one or two, like I didn't add any of the black or anything, for example, but so that is just Briar Queen Chill with, there was 2 layers of blended, thinned down Pterodon Turquoise here, 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 and here, and that was just by looking at the picture, right? But otherwise, gold exactly the same as what we do normally for gold, and the red exactly the same as what we do normally, and the white as well, same for what we normally do for the white at the moment, same for the silver. So at the end of the day, it's like, yeah, I've covered a lot of this at times, but every so often something new will come up, like that sword, but we have a reference for it that we can then just repurpose from the Nighthaunt ghosts and do it on a sword. That's how I roll. That's why we paint lots and lots of different things. That way we have lots and lots of different recipes for lots and lots of different stuff. Boom, boom. It does get ingrained after a while. Dozens of Custodes has done that. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, and like once you get a gold recipe that you really like on gold armor of Custodes, you're then like, yeah, I can do Hammers of Sigmar, I can do Sanguinary Guard, I can do anything that's got gold armor. I can do that no problem because I just port it over and it ports. Yeah. They don't generally tend to make completely different schemes to other paints that they've already done. And so, look, I mean, I would say it probably took, what shall we say, like I'd say it probably took up until like the last year of doing this to have that level of amount of recipes and kind of different skills at my disposal. to be able to apply them. And look, you always come up against something that might be completely different. Usharan, for example, completely different to everything else they've normally done. Vizek Scour, his skin, very different. Kragnos, again, it's like that lovely sort of brown, but it's not Tau ochre, and it's not dark brown. It's like this mid-reddy brown. It's like, well, how do you accomplish that? And that comes from understanding how the paints work and knowing what happens when you thin them down or don't thin them down, and then kind of a bit of guesswork. But if you can recognize the tones, brighter tones and mid tones are harder to get than darker ones, because darker ones will just go on. Like if you put Cygor Brown over pretty much anything, it comes out Cygor Brown. Same for Black Legion. Whereas if you put like Blood Angels Red over the top of Gryph-hound Orange, for example, you get a very different red to what you would normally be. It's still very red. It's not like this weird midpoint between red and orange, but you do get a very different red. But then if you Uno reverse it and do orange over the top of red, what you get is a really fiery red. You see what I mean? It's like there does come a sort of degree of trial and error, but also practice. And like sticking to one army, you'll get very good at painting that one army, and then you can take elements of that out into other armies that you do. I am in a very privileged position that almost on a weekly basis I'm doing something completely different. So when you're able to do a box like Scaventide and you're going, here's Hallowed Knights, Stormcast Eternals, silver, bright silver and dark silver and all this kind of thing. It's silver and gold and blue really. And then the other side of it, it's here's Skaven, and it's all just kind of drab, earthy tones and this, that, and the other. You're forced to kind of chop and change between the two in terms of what kind of colours you're going to be using and what schemes you're going to be coming out with. But it does give you a load of different recipes going forward that should you then go, oh, do you know what, I really liked how Agrax Earthshade looked over that robe, for example. I'll hold on to that in the future. Then when you come to do like your Slaves to Darkness, for example, you can be like, yeah, I'm going to give them dirty Agrax Earthshade robes. How many hours do you think you typically put into a centerpiece model like a Kragnos or a Primarch? Models like that usually take me 2 days, which would be anywhere between 18 and 24 hours. Some of them run longer, depending on how complex it is. So, for example, King Brod took me 3 days. So that's, what would that have been, 12, 22, 24, so yeah, 36 to 40 hours. Because King Brod had so many different things going on it. But yeah, I'd say probably 24 hours would probably be how much I would put into something like that. Speaking of custodians, for the 300 near the throne, would you use the baseline scheme and then try to degrade them based on the wear and tear they receive by being in close proximity to the Emperor, or better to build such changes initially as part of the design language? No, I'd probably do what you said there in the first place, if I was to do that. The interesting thing with that is what you could do is, if they've all got cloaks and stuff, obviously the cloaks and things would be burned away from the back. To be fair, most of what the custodians, as I understand it, they only ever look out. They don't look towards the Emperor. So all of the kind of degradation and stuff would be from behind, because it's that wave going out. So you would be able to do things like give them all cloaks and then make them more and more burned and this, that, and the other. A really cool way of doing it is if you were to, for example, you could prime them, like, so you could have your model, like you could have, in fact I've got custody right here, so you could have your custody like this, right? There's a hair on it. Have your custody like this, prime it how you intend to paint it from the front that way. So it's like a zenithal prime, right? Prime it that way. And then for the degradation part, prime it from the back in black. So if you paint them gold and you spray in gold, spray Retributor armor from the front, and then the back would be black. And then what you can do is you could paint like silver, and there's like where it's like worn away the auramite down to like the metal work or whatever. But that way you would have that kind of you would have that wave type thing going for that kind of vibe. You can get further and further away with your spray gun depending on how much of that black you want on there. God damn it, way too talented. Is it talented, Demogorgon? Or is it that it's all I do? Because I can get a centerpiece model like a Kragnos. I can receive it and I can put it together and I can build it and I prime it and then start the next day once the primer is fully dry. But I'm only just going to sit there from 1 PM till 4 AM and paint. Because I have to. Because I have to get the video ready for 3 days later. Talented, bud. Thank you. That's very kind of you. I sometimes think the reason I get through these things quickly is because it's all I do. Well, and also, you know, Contrast Plus does generally tend to speed things up a little bit. In the Citadel colour he turns when blushing. Oh, that's easy. It's Volupus pink, yeah. Volupus pink, yeah, is the colour I go. It starts off with a bit of Carroburg crimson and then it becomes more and more Volupus pinky as time goes on. The colour balancing on my camera is all over the place today. If I come back here, I get really pale. It's because of my sky blue shirt. That's why. I'm off to raid Liam and the Great Hall. Great stream as always, Josh. Thank you, Demogorgon. We're about wrapped up here. Because I did the thing I wanted to do and I did it really quickly. So, I mean, we're streaming for 2 hours. We normally stream for about 2 hours. On a Monday. You are way too hard on yourself. You are very talented. But I have to be hard on myself, Edward. Because if I'm not, then it's all gone to my head. And if it all goes to my head, well, that's how you end up taking pictures of boxes and that being the only content you put out. Shots fired. You don't ever want me to believe my own hype. Trust me. It's the last thing anybody out there wants. Anyway. Warhipster. Exactly. Hello everybody, it's the Warhipster here, coming at you with another video. But I'm not going to paint it on camera, because you should just do it yourselves, because I'm the best. You figure it out. The end. Bye. I'm too busy on my gold yacht. But this is why you think you're not a great painter, the rest of us are screwed, lol. Well, this is the point of community, right? That's why community is so important, is that what we do is we raise each other up. And it's one of my favourite things about what you guys out there do, and it's one of my favourite things about the Discord, is everybody is in there hyping each other up, just you know, lifting each other along and making sure everybody's enjoying it, or trying to enjoy it at least, and just kind of, as long as we're all doing that together, then we're the strongest painting group in the world, you know, because that is, YouTube is a community at the end of the day. This is social media, and it doesn't exist or work without community. So I need it just as much as you guys to be, you know, to be lifted up sometimes. It's why I make the videos. It's why I share the pictures. Already made the list for the new Stormcast pre-order. Not quite, Asmodeus. I want to know points and stuff before I buy a load of Stormcast. But I have ideas. I have many ideas. At the moment, I'm sat on 9,500 points worth of Stormcast painted. So I need to round that out. So I need to finish the Celestial Vindicators, and I want to do a 4th Storm Host, which I've kind of settled on it being Astral Templars at this point. But if I can have 2,000 points of Hallowed Knights, 2,000 points of Hammers of Sigmar, 2,000 points of Celestial Vindicators, and 2,000 points of Astral Templars, I will be a very happy boy. But it means that I've got to figure out what all the points are, what all the models do. It's a pretty good range now, though. And then, of course, we also have the dragons. I need to finish a dragon army, and I just need to be able to do it. I need to do... Its Ionis Cryptborn is done, the Knight Draconis is done, and I got the 2 big boys, but the 2 big boys don't kind of go into it, really. So it's like... I need to get... I don't need any more Stormdrake Guard. I know that I've got 4 in boxes. And I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, I should have 9, which is more than enough. For Astral Templars, the Sacrosanct range would be great. Yeah. I do have the Sacrosanct range. I do want to do that in December as a farewell. It's a lot of work to do for a bunch of models that are going to be in Legends, but we want to get them done. I want to have no unpainted Stormcast in the house. That would be nice. And then I should do the same thing with Space Marines, but there is a staggering amount of Space Marines in this house. Like, just an absolutely intense amount. There is at least a chapter's worth. For sure. For sure. Or maybe not a chapter's worth. Probably 5 companies worth of Space Marines in this house. Because I do love me some Space Marines. Anyway, guys, we are going to wrap things up there. Thank you so much for hanging out with me tonight. A massive thank you to all the people who super chatted and gifted memberships and became members and did all of that good stuff. Thank you to everybody who liked the stream, and thank you for everybody for chatting away and putting up with me. Being a fan. Being a community member of the Warhipster community. You guys are the best around, and nothing's ever going to bring you down. I will see you all very soon in the next one. There will be a painting video for you tomorrow, and there will be a stream on Wednesday, and then a painting video on Thursday, and a painting video on Friday, and then there'll be another video on Saturday, but I can't tell you what it is, but I'm sure you can all guess. So see you all very soon in the next one. You are the best in the world, and I love you all very much. Have a great one. Have a great week, and I'll talk to you all on Wednesday, if you're about on Wednesday. Love you, chat. Bye. Bye.